Hello, welcome to Wyverns Weirdos' Journey Home. I'm your Dungeon Master Darby, and joining me as always are Zoe, playing 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧, Emily, playing Beatrice, Laura, playing Conrad, and Johanna, playing Fall. Let's jump into it. Last left off, the party unsuccessfully tried to interrogate 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 before leaving her dead in the basement and looting the corpse as well as 𝗤𝗏𝗧's corpse. Then 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 set up her own version of 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧's magnificent mansion in the back wall of the safe house. And after a tour through and a discussion with Fall, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 visited Conrad to maybe have a way of reading. Nope.
And again.
Yep.
Poor dog.
Gross. Gesundheit.
I was so close. So, where we last left off, the party unsuccessfully attempted to interrogate 𝗖𝗔𝗧 before leaving her for dead in the basement. Then, after looting both her and 𝗤𝗏𝗧's corpses, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 set up her own version of 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧's magnificent mansion at the back of the safe house. And after giving everyone the grand tour and having a talk with Fall, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 then went to Conrad's room to offer up the ability to read his evil book.
That's right. So I think 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 had very quickly skimmed over Conrad's curse for a question earlier, and then she immediately changed tack to mention that she thinks she has an idea on how to read the book. So Conrad sort of looked very went through a quick flash of just being looking a lot more jaunty, sort of as Conrad often does. He sort of starts off yeah, I'm a big tough guy, I don't care what anyone thinks, and very quickly shifts to I'm shirtless and this is really awkward. So he kind of just turns a little bit more inward and then is tilts his head to one side, which he's been doing a lot more often lately, and then kind of steps back and is do tell.
Well, 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 scurries in, ducking under his arm.
Conrad just lets the door closed as she does that, and then kind of looks over where's my shirt?
And she does a little about turn. She's well, so I was thinking that book you found in the abandoned library, the one that, and she waves her burnt, still damaged hand at him.
Yes, that.
Yes. Well, so you can't read it and have no magic to read it.
No.
I have the magic to read it, but I don't have the ability to touch it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking there is a way that we could combine abilities to maybe get it to work. Either if I cast comprehend languages on myself, I can understand anything I am holding to read it or anything I am hearing being spoken.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So either you could transcribe passages of this book onto normal pieces of paper so then I could read them and translate them. Or if the language of the book perhaps shares a root with one that you speak, the same way that Dwarvish and Gnomish in Fierlor have a common ancestry, or the same way Saratan, I'm sure, shares certain dialects with other areas of sort of the Romance languages. In the traditional capital R sense,
Yes.
if you understand one, you can sort of understand the other. So maybe if that book is written in a language, at least adjacent to a language you understand, you might even be able to sound it out. And then as I am hearing you speak, I can translate it and write it down.
I mean, that's certainly worth a try.
Yes. Well, I just think, you said your gods seemed very set upon this book as a way to help, and
Yes.
yet there is no way for you to read it on your own, so I can help with that.
No, you're very right. That's a very good idea. We should try that now.
Yes?
Okay. And Cara just kind of like pats her. He's obviously been like trying to take apart like his bags and things like that. Just looks over uselessly at like the shirt that's covered in blood. And then just like unceremoniously like reaches under like the beautiful blanket covers of this lovely magically made bed and just kind of like just drags out one of the like the undersheet from there. And just tucks it over on top of him, over his shoulders, so he's covered. Yeah.
A dashing look.
Yes. Well, it would be awkward if I were not wearing a shirt. And well.
Oh!
Okay. So, and he like carefully goes over and wraps some very like kind of threadbare looking cloth that he's used to protect the book, and he unfolds that and takes out the dark tome that he got from the library, and then kind of like looks up at Sevia and then looks down at the book again, and then opens it up on one of the pages. I suppose we could try. I could try reading it out, or we could see, or I could try to write it if that does not work.
Yes, well, once I cast Comprehend Languages, it lasts for an hour. So we can see what one works best for us, and it only takes me about 11 minutes to cast it, so we could do that a little bit, maybe not all of it tonight, but maybe if we find like a contents page, we can translate that, and then from there, we can work out the most important bits, and then maybe over the next little while, we can translate the most important parts in between, all of the battling occult.
Yes, that is true. Well, on the point of that matter, I did not wish to raise it in front of Caliana, for her assistance will be useful. But, well, I mean, our goal truly is to just set hold of the device Arkan has stolen from your boss, right? Your mentor, Mordenkainen. This is not our world.
No.
He kind of like gauges her expressions like, I mean, of course, it would be good if we can stop Tiamat. And
yes.
Arkan will be there, but
yes.
if things go south, That may be some. Don't think on it. I will worry about that part.
No, I understand. And I admit, without saying it aloud, I have thought of it.
Oh, good. Well, there we go. Now it's been mentioned. The book.
The book. Right. Well, I will start casting on myself, and then we'll see.
Yes.
And she kind of pulls out a second chair, like next to the writing desks, in such a way where like she could start writing things down if this works. And then she is going to spend the 10 minutes and 6 seconds ritually casting comprehend languages on herself, which I'm sure for at least 6 of those minutes, her throat would almost look as if it was glowing. And these like arches of light would go up through her veins and like through her eyes, and her eyes would almost start glowing, and they don't stop glowing. This like her eyes are like a deep brown, and they start glowing this like bright blue. And there's just these kind of fissures of almost lightning like up through her mouth, through her eyes, and then almost down through to her fingertips. And that takes about 10 minutes, while Conrad probably shuffles awkwardly and like looks for a good page in the book.
Yeah, pretty much. He does look a little bit discomforted when he notices all the light glowing around your throat and things like that, and kind of just looks like watching interest for a while, and then sort of like slides his gaze away and then around as he thinks, why does this room feel familiar? And then back again, and then kind of like just shovels the blanket he's wearing. It's very obvious his throat is heavily bruised still. Yeah. Along just like, that cursory glance Sevia had as well. Like, he has a lot of like just like burn marks around like his wrists, and like slashes mostly around like his shoulders, like his side and his arms. Because he's accumulated a lot of injuries over his travels. He looks a lot changed from what he did before when he used to sleep shirtless anyway. But yeah, he does kind of just sit there awkwardly waiting for Sevia to finish doing this spell.
Yeah. And then she does, and those glowing eyes are set upon him. And she almost looks so otherworldly that her normal voice just coming out would probably seem very strange, as she just goes, right, well, whenever you're ready.
Yes, right, okay. And then he's going to look over the book and try to read out some of it. Connor knows quite a lot of languages, so he might be able to at least phonetically spell out some things. I remember the last couple of times he's looked over it, he hasn't been able to glean much. But yes.
Okay.
But yes, welcome to Intelligence Checks, the musical.
Yes, he tries to guess how to phonetically read stuff out. Is basically what Conrad is trying to do to communicate to Sevia.
What we're going to need here is, I think, probably an intelligence check.
Alrighty. Luckily, Conrad is fairly smart, so we'll see how this goes. Yeah, okay. So I rolled a natural 18, so that's a 21.
21, okay. For Sevia, first thing I'm going to need from you is a charisma saving throw.
Okay. From hearing the terrible arcane evil words.
Sevia just dies. Paul just bursts in like, why is Conrad shirtless and why is Sevia dead? What's happening here? Conrad, I'm killing you right now.
That's an 18.
18? Okay. So, you take...
I should have healed myself
7 points of psychic damage.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
And you will actually remember what you're able to translate for Conrad. It's rough going. because you're translating not from the text itself, but from Conrad's kind of butchered phonetic reading of it. But the text thus far seems to be detailing various elements of like the blackest magic, most unhinged thoughts, and diseased ideas that you have ever heard.
Sevia's pulling a face as she writes this down, but she gives Conrad a thumbs up as if to be like, it's working, I hate it.
Yeah, there is, like, you...
There's just pictures of, like, monkeys and shit, and it's an outline on how to make NFTs.
Yes.
Topical humor, baby.
Darkest magic.
That is probably on one of the pages, or if it is not, will eventually be at some point in time, I guess.
Yeah. This page is describing a non-fungible token. That
I
sounds...
don't know what that is. I mean, I was saying the words, but okay.
It sounds destructive to the environment.
You have not yet found anything that seems... You've not yet translated anything that to Conrad seems immediately useful for your current, for the purposes to which you seem to have been gifted this book.
Yeah, and Conrad kind of like, as the time kind of winds on a little bit, since it's CV and we know it's only an hour as well, Conrad starts to get a little bit more frantic, and starts to try to like close his eyes a bit more and try to like focus in, and in his head he would just be thinking, I need to find the right part, I need to find something out of here. But yeah. That's what
Yeah.
Just randomly picking pages, I guess. So yeah. Alas.
Yeah. No shadowy fingers coming out of the corners to be like, Chapter 7.
I mean, you can attempt to roll an investigation check, Conrad, to see if there's anything in the diagrams or pictures within the book to suggest anything.
Probably not. It's only a 12.
12. Yeah, there's nothing of, like, there is, you find something that seems to be like instructional, and you start reading it, and it does seem to bear fruit, as like there is talk of freeing a soul, and then you continue on and it's freeing a soul from mortal constraints, and it is in fact the method by which one can attain immortality through lichdom.
I already know this one. And I do not know. I thought this would be a useful endeavor.
Well,
it is working at least.
Yes, you're doing an amazing job, but you said they guided you towards this book.
I did, but I do not feel anything. Whether that is because of them, because it is not done the wrong way, because it is, I don't know, because Strahd is causing something to stop this, I do not know. If they had grown bored already, they would probably do something, so I don't understand.
Conrad, can you roll me a charisma saving throw?
Luckily, I got resilience in this. Oh no. That's a natural 2, so that's a 10.
Oof. Can
Yeah.
you roll me a d6, please?
3.
3. Okay. Okay. So, yeah, you completely forget about Kazir.
Interesting.
He is gone from your memory.
Oh my goodness. That's alright. He wasn't there for that long. Oh, ouchies. That's good. Interesting. Man. Tasty. Okay. So probably while he's doing like getting more agitated and stuff like that, Sevia might notice that the shadows start to like in the room start to wind around him, which shouldn't be possible because this is a magical room and they just shift in a strange way that doesn't fit the room. It seemed to just be like, not like they're wrapping it around Conrad, like it's an intentional spell or anything, but just that's something shifted. And he kind of like just like almost like he just stutters for a moment, like but like not like like from like the mouth, but like just in his entire being for a moment, and then like I do not know. I am not cross at you. I just wish. I do not know. Cross at the situation. You have been doing good job, but I know we are short for time, and you do not have much for this spell. So
It is fine. As I said, I can cast this as much as we need to try and help you.
we shall see. Either way, we are running out of time.
Maybe we're thinking about this wrong.
Yes.
I know it is in the nature of your gods to take. And maybe they assume that we assume that they wanted you to have this book in order to take them. Maybe that is not the case. Maybe they wanted this book in order to give something. Everything we have been finding has been instructional, descriptive, these ideas of deep, black, dark magic. Beyond anything I have found on Fierlor. Maybe they want you to imbue that. To learn, either for yourself or for them. Maybe this book is not about retrieving them, it is about giving you something.
He looks over the book. Perhaps it is. It does certainly feel like there are spaces in my. It kind of like taps his like temple in here that could do with it. I do not know.
Maybe that is why they take memories. Not just as punishment, but as storage.
Why would they make me forget about the automaton?
I do
not know. Perhaps these memories were not useful, and this is why they are gone.
Maybe they... She looks almost pained as she says this, made inhuman by the glowing around her eyes and mouth. Maybe they take what makes you happy.
I've never been particularly happy. He just looks somewhat like crestfallen and like just turns inward himself. That's probably the best word I can use to describe that. He like draws one knee up to his chest. Just looks over the book. Perhaps this should be good for now. You should spend time with Fall. Fall makes you happy, yes?
Yes, but are you sure you want to be alone?
I do not know. But I do not know if there's much more we can be gleaned. I can already see the magic fading from you. For now.
We can try again tomorrow.
Yes. We'll try again tomorrow, and then we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see if there's something we can do about Arcana and everything. Perhaps 4 days is wrong. Perhaps there's more time. Who knows?
We can but hope.
Yes. Yes.
I am sorry, Conrad.
What for?
I don't know. Does one not simply say they are sorry when a friend is sad?
One does. I understand.
Good. Well,
And he like reaches out and like pats her hand.
she turns her hand over and like just holds his wrist gently, just comfortingly. And then she says, well, if you need company, you know where to find me and Fall, and Beatrice, although I'm sure she is having a grand time in her hammock.
Yeah, it's probably getting acquainted with that painting you put in there.
Oh, well, it seemed appropriate.
No, it's understandable. And, you know, Beatrice is a woman who likes women, and that looked a little bit like, well,
they seem to get along so well, you know.
They did, yes. I, again, was surprised. I thought it was to a great degree if she was being so open about it, but now I've realized that actually probably where I'm from is a very small place indeed, and most people that's okay and that's good and normal. So good power to her, I suppose. I hope she's having a fun time in there. But a quiet one.
You are so much bigger than that place, Conrad.
I would hope so.
I know so.
It looks quite, well, it looks like childishly sullen from her. He's like, well, thank you, I suppose.
Good. Well,
if you want to, we can try this again. We shall see.
We shall see. Good.
I will see if I can understand it better myself, because I have read it out.
Yes.
And maybe there'll be something to be gleaned or learned or fulfilled, as you suggest.
Yes. We will try again.
Mm.
And I do have one last little thing for you in this room. Just in case, you seem as if you might be in one of those moods. So, and she goes where there's that little narrow window above the bed. She goes behind what looks as if they're just curtains draped next to the bed, and she pulls one back. And you can see that it is the only door in the house that leads to outside.
Ooh.
And she says, you like to go for walks? I figured sometimes things feel too big for a little room to contain them.
And he kind of stands up and like little like the blanket he had sort of like it would just loose around his shoulders by this point, kind of drags back. He steps forward and steps next to her and looks at the doorway, and then looks at Sevia, and then touches the door handle. Then opens it to look outside.
Yeah.
Does it reflect the windows, or it's obviously a small area because it's magnificent mansion.
So
yeah.
it looks as if it goes on forever, but if he were to try and find the edge, there's almost like an invisible barrier, like another wall.
The good old computer game, the invisible walls.
Computer game, yeah.
The clipping.
Where suddenly it's neat. But it reflects what everyone has seen out the windows. It smells like a summer evening. And there's more trees around than maybe the windows reflect. And again, there's all these plant life. All the plant life looks as if it would be at home on a body of water, but there is no body of water to be seen. There are areas with little paving stones. There are little garden beds right out the back of this little, just little brick home, white brick home, brick and wood, and yeah, the paving stones all lead to nowhere or off into this eternal fake distance. And it wraps all the way around the house. Except for where there would be the fourth wall, because that's where the front is.
Corin looks down at Sevia again and looks out. His eyes get a bit of a gleam to them, that they tend to sometimes. And just the edge of his mouth just curls upwards a bit. I like that. Thank you.
Well, I like seeing you happy.
I don't know what to say about that, so I'm going to go for a run.
I will let you enjoy your run.
He does.
Have a good evening, she says. He probably sprints away. Naruto
sprints away
to get away
Yes.
from feelings.
Absolutely. Full shirtless.
Yeah.
That's what he does.
And she waves. And she leaves. Eats her muesli bar.
Probably has a bit of a run for quite some time until he's exhausted and tired. And still not really out of breath because he doesn't need to, but then he just sort of collapses in the grass and just stares up at the fake, but what he knows to most likely be fake, but the sky, and just stares up there for a long, long time.
So, everyone, unless there's anything in particular that people want to touch on, I think you all find yourselves coming to rest quite peacefully, except for Conrad. Conrad, you have a dream or a vision, you're not quite sure which, of you find yourself in Barovia. And you are, it seems a lot more idyllic than the Barovia that you were in. Not by a long shot, but
better.
Doesn't have that unnatural gloom of Ravenloft. But you see Castle Ravenloft itself is being constructed. And you see just outside of it that there are military forces, nobles and the like, many of them bearing the crest that you recognize as that of the 𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧 family.
This is where it began.
You hear a high-pitched, piercing noise just screaming through your mind. And suddenly it grows in volume more and more and more until it becomes just unbearable, at which point you awake. And I need you to roll me another charisma saving throw.
Okie dokie. Okay. Better, 18.
Better, but still not at the DC.
Oh!
It is a high DC, so I need you to roll me another D6. Please.
Oh no. Okay. That's a 1.
A 1. Oh. Oh.
That sounds encouraging.
Oh.
Oh no.
So you can no longer cast Speak with Animals.
No! 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 I can't talk to the spiders! No!
You forget how to converse with the spiders.
No!
I thought he was gonna like forget one of the party members or something, but this is worse.
It's true. Oh, that's gonna be uncomfortable the next time he decides to open his bag of spiders. Oh no! Okay, yeah. And again, yeah, Connor just like wakes up in a cold sweat, just like looking around, just like in the room. Just like panting, even though he's not really drawing breath, just for the sake of doing it. And again, as he has many times over the past few days, and he just looks wide-eyed, like he's trying to remember something, like there's something missing. Again, the growing intensity, but he doesn't know what. And he just, sits there and just wallows in that for some time. Yep. That's what he does, alas. And then I suppose with that growing, like just that sense that he knows there's something wrong, there's something missing, he just, after he manages to sort of like calm down, he stands up with purpose, and like it's probably like, I imagine it's all like fantasy nighttime in the magical mansion. He pads over to the horrible book and he sits down and sort of like lights a candle. And even though he doesn't understand it, he will try to read and look over it and take notes. That's what he does for the rest of the night.
Morning comes. What do people want to do? Morning.
Well, Fall, I really want to go talk to Conrad's spiders. That sure seems like a great thing to do with our time.
Absolutely.
Let's go talk to the spiders. No,
Yes, about Kazir.
about Kazir and Exley and that night in the brothel. I think that would be a really great series of conversations to have. No, Cv is going to wake up before everyone else and make everyone breakfast.
I will say, so you have a bookshelf the bookshelf was in your room.
Yeah.
Yes. You notice, especially with your passive investigation, at least, of 25, there's more, you could swear that there were less books here last night. Like, not by much, but like there appears to be one more book than there was when you went to sleep.
Sevia, like, do does a big stretch, is about to sneak out of bed to go make breakfast without waking Fall, sees an extra book on her shelf in her periphery, and just spine straightens, her head snaps around, and she just runs over and scans through all of the books to try and see which one is new. because this is her favorite terrain, which I say every time she's near a single book.
Yeah.
But it's true. What is my new book?
So, you see, you going through the spines, you find one that is a thin, grey, leather-bound tome, which is damaged and ancient. There's no text on the spine. And if you were to take it out of the bookcase, there is no text on the cover.
She opens it.
There's no text in the pages.
𝗖𝗔𝗦𝗧.
No texts.
Barefoot in her pajamas, she closes her eyes and she draws on the will of Arcani that she can still sense here, and she casts Identify.
All right. So, this is the Tome of Isolation. As an action, you can expend a spell slot of any level higher than 3 into the book. Cover and the internal pages will then glow with the hidden text from the book that detail the rites of prime banishment. This text remains for 1 hour. While legible, you can spend an action to invoke the rites of prime banishment against a target. The target must make a wisdom saving throw, a DC of 10 plus 5 for each prime tremel fused to the target. On a failure, the target is banished and sealed. This book is immediately teleported away. On a success, the text becomes blurred until the end of your next turn.
Is there... So the DC was 10 plus...
Plus 5 for each prime tremel fused to the target.
Does she know what a prime tremel is?
Roll me a religion check, I guess.
Oh, I'm good at those. How's a 29 for you?
You have not come across anything in what you have read known as a prime tremel.
Oh.
You know that a tremel is usually something that is typically either can be a hook in a fireplace for a kettle, an instrument consisting of a board with 2 grooves intersecting at right angles in which 2 ends of a beam compass can slide to draw an eclipse, a 3-layered dragnet designed so that a fish entering through one of the large meshed outer sections will push part of the finer mesh central section through the large mesh on the further side, forming a pocket in which the fish is trapped, or a restriction or impediment to freedom of action. From context, you would guess it's probably talking about, it's probably more so in the sense of the first. Or of the last, sorry.
That's it. A hook for a kettle. We put a bunch of hooks in Arkan, and then we drag them away like an old-timey comedy
They
group.
may function in a similar fashion to a kettle hook, but
okay. But it's a restriction. So prime one. Okay. She stands there kind of absorbing this information. Is there any indication from the identifier that if she were to put a spell slot in it and then just let it fade, that would make the book useless?
No. So it would just, so you can put the charge in and it'll just fade after an hour, and you will still have the book, and you can attempt to charge it and read it again at other times as well.
She's like, her little fingers tip-tapping against the cover. Fall's probably dreaming of the sound of falling rain. And she just kind of stands there and she starts bouncing a little bit, just like on the balls of her feet. And even though this is a magical house, there is a slight creak in the floorboards, as if she feels that should be there. She kind of stands there and she goes, okay. Team meeting, full.
What's wrong?
Nothing. Good thing. Team meeting necessary. I'll put the kettle on, but team meeting. And then she gives Fall a kiss on the cheek and runs out of the room, still in her pajamas.
Oh, okay. I'll get dressed up. Hurry, yes.
And she
was just like shaking their head to wake up.
And she runs and she stands by the sink waiting for the kettle to fill, just bouncing up and down, and then fills it, puts it on the stove to turn the magic fire on, and then runs and... Conrad, good thing, team meeting, kitchen, made, coffee, and...
Okay.
And... Beatrice! Team meeting! Good thing!
Sure.
In kitchen, please! And then she runs off. And then to do the same thing, and then goes, Kaliana!
Yes?
We're having a quick team meeting, darling. In the kitchen. Okay. I found something good, I think.
Be right
and
now.
Then she runs off to the kitchen to await everyone else. Just bop, 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 bop. Just still in like a nightgown. Her hair is in a silk scarf. And like, she is just like one hand holding book, other hand making cups of tea and coffee. Constantly making one for Conrad and then forgetting and sliding it over to Beatrice. Remembering that one too, and then just sliding them to the back of the stack.
I think Fall will duck out first, probably like still like putting a shirt on. Like, not too late. Gosh, something's going on.
Yes.
Oh, no one else is here.
No, they move a lot less fast than you, my darling. And she goes to give Fall like one little smooch, but she's still doing a little bop, so it's more like a little like just all over his cheek.
That's adorable.
Yes.
Yes, I imagine so.
Yes. Well, I hope it's a good thing. It could be a bad thing. I'm realizing now it could be a bad thing, but I'm hoping it's a good thing. But I will wait for the group.
Yes. No, well, fingers crossed. We could do with some good news.
Yes. So, good. Tea, coffee, juice. I could think up some juice. I think I remember what juice.
You can think up foods and stuff here. Oh, that's exciting. Yes, I'll just have juice for now.
Yes. Okay. Yes. No. Food and all of that is provided. It's just I should be able to set it up so that we can all think of our own foods that we want and then provide them. But for the moment, I think it sort of has to be me. I'm still working out the kinks, And then she thinks really hard, And she opens the fantasy refrigerator, and there should be 4 kinds of juice, because Fall did not specify. So there is apple, orange, passion fruit, and mixed. But the mix is probably, if Fall were to select mixed, there's probably some weird, like, cucumber in there. Like, Sevia has not had juice in a while. She's a student. She lives on coffee and tea.
Tomato juice.
Tomato. Yes, it's fruit.
Walter grabs the tomato juice and takes a sip, like, I don't even know what these things are. Okay, thank you. Grabs like the passion fruit or something and looks very excited.
Yes, good. Cups are to your left, 3rd one along. And she kind of points as she continues. The autistic version of running in circles, where she's just kind of puttering, stopping, looking around, puttering, stopping, doing something else, puttering.
Beatrice saunters out, fully dressed. What's going on?
Beatrice, tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Good. Hands her 3 coffees. Just on the table, and then goes, I think a good thing is occurring. She does a little, like, on the coffee table.
Beatrice looks at the 3 coffees and then looks back up at Sevia and is like, we're being energetic today, are we?
Well, I'm full of verve and vigor today, apparently. I woke up to some good news.
Gestures at the 3 cups of coffee that have been placed in front of her.
Well, one of those was meant for Conrad, but he's self-conscious about that. So if you could just drink it for the both of you.
Take care of one of them.
I think he gets a lot of his energy from, being like that. The spite and all that. The manic, murdering. So I don't know if he needs coffee, even if he could drink it.
Beatrice just blinks at Sevia, and then picks up 1 mug, walks over to a different chair and sits down.
Away from Sevia.
That's fair. And Sevia continues on her merry little way.
Conrad will eventually slope in, probably just at the same time as Caliana does. One of the slowest people, but probably one of the least prepared. He's just wearing, like, I don't know. I'm not putting words in your mouth, Darby. But he's not wearing a shirt. He's just wearing his breeches. He's just like, and he's got like the horrible book under his arm, and he just kind of like walks in, looks around, like, oh, meeting with every. What's going on?
Hello. I have a thing.
Oh, good. And he kind of also does that awkward thing where you're trying to like look nonchalant, and so he's just like does that to try and like sort of like lean casually against like the bench nearest to the table, but that just makes him look more awkward. Go ahead, unless we have to wait for Caliana. Yes.
I'm right
Yes.
here.
Oh, so you are. Well,
Caliana, tea, coffee, juice,
Juice, please.
tomato.
Sure.
Beautiful. And Celia pours her a tomato juice and then slides it across the table in a little glass that has like fantasy Winnie the Pooh on it. They're all like hand painted glasses. So Falls also probably has that kind of thing going on. Then she goes, well, so, hello, I'm Sevia, Rudy Rin, I'm a wizard. So I woke up this morning and I realized something was wrong with my books. which, as you all know, is a very important thing to me. So for you, Kaliana, I like books. And the thing that was wrong with my books is there was another one of them, which normally isn't a bad thing, but, considering we're in a literal place made of my brain, that seemed a little strange. So I had a look, and it turns out, and she puts the book very carefully in the center of the table amidst her mania, and she goes, "This book doesn't look as if it has anything written upon it, but if I use a certain level, a concentration of magic upon it, what it does is it gives me the ability to, or anyone who can read it, I assume I just can put magic in it, it gives us the ability to do prime banishment, which is a little bit of a big deal. It's sort of what has already happened to Tiamat.
Oh. That is useful.
Yes. So if she were to get out, which would be very bad, we don't want to happen, we could put her back. Or, other thought, and she kind of I would say carefully, but nothing about how she is at the moment could be described as careful. She is trying not to look directly at Fall, as she says, or we could potentially banish Arkan into a place he cannot come back from.
This is also a good point. That is most useful that this book has just appeared for you.
Yes. No, that is... I had not thought of that. Well, at first, I was quite anxious that maybe it was like, a bad thing. Like, maybe Strahd snuck into my little mind palace as well and was leaving things behind. But this is a good thing. So, I really should have checked where this came from, shouldn't I? Huh.
Probably.
That's incredible. That's immensely useful. I think. Do you think it could be a gift from Hakani herself?
It could be. My brain went to Mordenkainen or Caleb, but they don't know where we are. So, yes, and she almost kind of re-enters her body in this way of suddenly, I'm in front of everyone and I don't know everything about what I'm talking about. And that is mortifying to me, Sevia, personally. And she just kind of almost shyly closes her eyes really tight and goes to that part of her mind that she doesn't go to a lot. And she thinks, Arcane, was this you?
Roll me a religion check.
Okay. You've been rolling well for me this evening. Oh yeah, no, religion. Dirty 20.
You feel a sense of warmth that would suggest yes.
She does this whole body shudder that would look a little strange. And then she kind of shakes her head and opens her eyes. She goes, I believe it was Arcane. I believe my theory from a few days ago might be correct, that as much as Arcane is not a god of this place, she may have connections to gods of this place. No, gods probably talk. So maybe she asked these gods what could help. She sent this book.
I suppose so. That's incredible. I guess she wants to help us stop him.
Yes. Well, it behooves all gods not to let a terrifying god of destruction into the world, unless they are the terrifying god of destruction.
I suppose so.
Yes. So, yes. This is exciting. We have a safety net.
We do. That's wonderful news.
Yes. The only thing that I've sort of worked out, and I feel like maybe we as a group could think of more things. She's moving her hands so much. You guys have probably not seen this energy from her in a very long time, since potentially first meeting Mordenkainen, or even like the first time she would have spoken to anyone about her connection to Arcani. But she's just moving because there's nowhere else for the energy to go. And she's like, it says that we can increase the difficulty for the creature we are banishing to stay here and resist the banishment by latching onto them with prime tremors. Which, I know what a tremor is. There's one version that's an instrument and one version to do with fish, but the main thing I'm thinking is that it is a sort of restriction, a way to impede movement. Like with Sarissa.
Like hold person.
Hold person, being grappled, being tied. There are ways to restrict action. Those are tremors. I do not know what a prime tremor would mean. Mayhaps the book will contain some information on what they are, but I didn't want to do that without all of you around in case it went poorly.
You do recall, Xenia, from I believe it was you that was reading in the Library of the Cobalt Soul.
Yes.
That there has been one group within living memory to have banished a god previously.
Ha ha ha. Oh! Her hands shoot back up. I forgot to message Keyleth last night, but I think it is now extra relevant to talk to Keyleth. I think we need to talk to the people of Vox Machina, or potentially Keyleth, or maybe those people from Whitestone. Someone mentioned Whitestone. Whitstone? Quitaway? Stoney? I don't know, but we should talk to members of Vox Machina. Maybe we can get Keyleth to take us to Whitestone and talk to a bunch of them, and then we get Keyleth to take us to Vasselheim, and then we fix the issue.
That's wonderful.
Did she breathe at all while she said that?
I don't think so. Maybe it's spreading.
How many coffees did you have this morning?
None.
That's
concerning.
This is good news, though. This all makes my brain is still trying to catch up with all this, but this does. What time we have left? This is good. Yes.
Yes. Yes. This is very, very good.
On the vein of things you were going to do last night, did you end up identifying any of the objects we took off Torgal?
We can't, because we glossed over your post-Conraid activities, and that is something that does not cost a resource for you. We can say that you did that.
Yes.
The mask,
yes,
you don't.
I did. I wrote it down here, and she pulls out a sheath of
the
paper.
mask The mask you don't need to identify because you know it's like another one. You know enough about dragons to guess this probably does much the same, except for it's like the black dragon mask, acid focused.
Mm.
The other things that Torgar had on him were gauntlets of flaming fury and a belt of fire giant strength. So the belt increases the strength of the wearer while they are attuned to it to 25. The gauntlets, while you wear both of these steel gauntlets, any non-magical weapon you grasp with either gauntlet is treated as a magic weapon. As a bonus action, you can use the gauntlets to cause magical flames to envelope 1 or 2 melee weapons in your grasp. Each flaming weapon deals an extra 1d6 fire damage on a hit. The flames last until you sheath or let go of either weapon. Once you use this property, can't be used again until the next dawn.
I know it's almost useless to him. Would that stack with what Conrad's already got going on? Or is it better to give it to the dual wielder in our party?
Non-magical weapon.
Ah.
Oh no, that's just for the treated as magical weapon. Yeah, no, that would stack with what Conrad's got. Yeah, so it could be used by any one of you.
Okay. Is Beatrice magic things? Objects? I'm too into Sevia right now and I can't form full sentences.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that? I don't know what any of that meant.
Emily?
Yes.
Are Beatrice's weapons magical already?
Yes. All of us have almost completely magical weapons.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it can affect magical weapons. I was just mixing up properties. So the property that is to do with non-magical weapons is that any non-magical weapon you grasp with either gauntlet is treated as a magic weapon. The fire property can be used on magic weapons. The only requirement is that they are melee weapons.
Okay. So Sevia reads aloud very quickly all of this, which is that belt, make you big and strong. Gauntlets, extra fiery boys. And then she looks around the group and she's like, I can put these out here and you can feel free to divide them. I do not need to be strong and I do not carry weapons unless you count these. And she makes a couple little sparkles pop out of her hands in the shape of one of Conrad's and one of Beatrice's daggers. But like as little sparkles and there's little like purple flowers all around them with prestidigitation. And she just goes, so I can leave those for you all to sort out while I message Keyleth.
The other thing is, have you attuned to the tome yet?
Let's say I have.
Okay. So you would know, among other things, that does add teleport to your spells known.
Oh, does it?
It does.
Okay, what's the name of the book again? So I can...
It is the... You find it. I will find it while you deal with your... So what is your message to Keyleth?
Okay. Sevia first scurries off, grabs the things, brings them back, puts them on the table, and then sits down cross-legged in a kitchen chair, like a true queer. And then she does her little arcane things, puts her little fingers to her temple, and she thinks hard of Keyleth. Keyleth! Hello! It's Sevia from the Grove. I have a question about fighting gods and banishing them. Also, getting to Whitestone? Where is it? That is what she sends to Keyleth.
So the response you get back is, "Oh, wow. Okay. Is there a plant nearby that is reasonably big, and can you describe it to me? I can bring you here."
Okay. Sevia jumps out of her little chair, looks at one of the windows, remembers these trees are fake, runs to the front door, sneakily pokes her little head out to see if anyone has come to check on the safe house.
Roll me a perception check.
Yes. There are so many people in this party better suited to this. Oh, thank God. Perception 26.
26. You're pretty sure the site is clear.
Okay. Is there a tree?
Roll me an investigation check.
Should use my good dice. Oh God, never mind. 21.
21. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take you long to find what you believe to be suitable tree.
Okay. Beep. Ding dong. Have found tree. Is for the sake of speed.
Just roll me an intelligence check.
I'm going to use a better dice. Beautiful. 15.
Okay. So you describe the tree as
25
best you
words or
can.
less, I describe the tree.
Yeah.
Redwood.
You get a
Good.
response from Keyleth saying, "Stay by the tree. I'm going to scry on you so that I can see it."
Sevia stands very still.
I'm assuming you're going to willingly fail the save
Yes.
on the scry. Okay, so she scries on you, and you see the tree begin to open.
In this moment, Sevia remembers she is only in a nightgown. And immediately holds one of the massive books she is carrying in front of her.
Okay. And you see through the tree there is a city. But furthermore, almost as if to greet you, there are 5 figures. One familiar. You met Keyleth. So one, Keyleth. Another is a half-elven woman in her 60s, maybe. It's always hard to tell with half-elves because they age fairly gracefully. There is another. There is another. There is another human man who is in his mid-50s. A gnome woman, and a hulking, very old Goliath with, strangely, a beard. And oh, you're not ready to come through yet?
Would you all like a cup of tea?
And the five of them, and the bear you just noticed, walk through the tree into the streets of Port Damali.
I hear there's a red motherfucker that I need to get some revenge on.
I do not know about his status as a motherfucker, but sure.
All right, what do you need?
Well, this is, would you like to come inside?
I take it, extra planar?
Yes.
All right. Let's talk.
Good. She opens the door and lets through the members of Vox Machina into her home through a little door that was definitely not built for grogs or trinkets.
And that's where we're going to leave it for this week.
The Vox Machina are here.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Yeah.
good read the wiki.
Yeah.
Everyone,
The cartoon just came out in the time.
our time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta watch it. Have a good week, everyone. Thank you for
good
listening.
Have a great week.
Next week.
See you.
Goodbye.
Sorry for listening.
Kudos.